Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl,
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
and we are so glad to have you today. Today is Wednesday, the 31st of August, 2016, and this is episode 207, aka our fourth Podiversary. But more on that later. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, goodness gracious, I can't say the words today. And a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, let's start with, we have some people who introduced themselves in our Ravelry group over the last couple of weeks, so why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Shelly, who is Shells Butters from Missouri. Kristen, who is Kristen9312 from Virginia. Jen, who is Mama Gott from Pennsylvania. Brandy, who is Army Wife 2102 from Montana and Hawaii, Colorado, Washington, and New York.
Wow.
Lots of places.
Yeah.
Leslie, who is Blue-Eyed Crafty from Tulsa, Oklahoma, but now lives in Southeast Massachusetts. Christina, who is Tia2123 from Florida. Georgianne, who is Stitching Plaza from California. And Marjana, who is Alisana from Finland.
Welcome. We're glad to have you guys. Thanks for introducing yourselves. So, Dammy, if someone is not a member of our group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introduction starter because we will give you a shout out on our next episode, and you will be able to participate in all our KALs and giveaways.
Of which there's a lot today. Yeah. So before we move on, I wanted to say a humongous thank you to everyone for your kind support and words and reaching out and everything after last week's episode. I'll just do a short, I'm going to purloin from the Gilmore Girls, and they occasionally do a 1-minute health update. So I was back in hospital Saturday morning, and my bladder did start working again, thank you God. And so I was only in for about half a day, and then I was back home and I'm recovering, and yeah, I have to keep reminding myself that I just had surgery and not to do too much, but I am recovering, and you don't know how much of a blessing it was to me and to you and to Daddy, all three of us, that for your prayers and support and love and the way you reached out. And I'm going to start crying if I say much more, so I'm going to stop there. You should prepare yourself, because this is going to be a long episode. So grab maybe a couple of knitting projects and maybe some coffee to get you through, because I think it's time that we get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what's on your needles, Dammy?
So this is my Optical Delusion Conflagration Scarf by Kim McBrien Evans. It's on US 2.53 millimeters, and the yarn is Easy Knits Deeply Wicked in the Wick colorway. So I've gotten a few more repeats of the middle chart done, but I still have quite a bit of yarn.
It's like the never-ending yarn ball,
Yeah.
because you're trying to use as much of it as you can.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Okay.
I want to finish it,
Are you enjoying it at least?
I guess.
Okay. But you're being monogamous right now and trying to get it done.
Yeah. So what's on your needles?
Oh, you guys, a lot of stuff. Not really. Only 3 things. It just feels like a lot because there's so much yarn in this one project. So first up, my zigzag blanket is active again after the Ravelinics. This is the 10 stitch zigzag pattern by Frankie Brown. I'm on US 4's 3.5 mil needles, and the yarn that I'm using right now is Mint Rain Tough Sock in the Zombie Love colorway. It's a self-striping. I made some socks for myself out of it, and as you can tell, it's on the screen right now. Yeah, still aiming for 2019 or so with this. So the next thing on my needles is an epic new project. It has been in my queue for the last 2 years, and I've had yarn picked out for it for probably the last year, and finally I gave in. And the reason that my yarn shelf looks so bare right now is because it's going to be 8 skeins worth of yarn in this project. So this project is the Haven Poncho by Holly Yo. Yo. Y-E-O-H. Yo. I'm making some modifications. So one of them is I went down a needle size to US 8's 5mm needles because I liked the fabric a little bit better. And there are 8 colorways of yarn that I'm using, which is another modification because Holly wrote the pattern for you to use 5 skeins of one yarn. So no, 5 total colors. So one of the colors you would use bunches of skeins, and then you would use the others for part of it. But I decided to modify it and use 8 different colorways. So I'm not going to tell you every week all the colorways, but I will tell you what I have been working with. So this first colorway here is Rainbow Heirloom Solo Light in the Hidden Reef colorway, and it was from, well, you'll find that a bunch of these skeins were from the Golden Skein when I had a membership. And then you can see that I've added a new color, and that is...
I don't even have them in the order.
Because I copied them off of my project page in the alphabetical order it put them in.
Oh.
I know which one this is. This is Side Curlig in the Butterfly colorway. So another modification that I have made to make this project go faster is instead of doing it in reverse stockinette, I'm doing it in garter stitch. So you can see I started right there in reverse stockinette, but you probably wouldn't know that if I didn't tell you. And then I changed over to garter. And it looks very similar. So I'm like, you know, it'll go faster. So the premise of this shawl is you're knitting with two... Shawl. I knit shawls so often, that's why. Is that you are holding 2 skeins of yarn at the same time to knit. So I started with 2 skeins of this, and then now I'm using 1 and 1, and then it'll fade into a solid of the butterfly, and then it'll transition. I'm going to put up on the screen. So you and I were trying to figure out color progression. So I'm putting on the screen right now a picture of the 8 skeins of yarn in color. What we did is, now I'm switching out the pictures, hopefully. We took pictures of the yarns in black and white, and then used that to move the yarns around to try to get it from lightest to darkest progression. And so that's a really cool trick. I can't remember where I learned that. Probably a podcast. Don't know which one. Yeah, so that's how we decided on the progression. Not all of the yarn is wound yet, only the first 2, because Dammy was like not up for winding 8 skeins of yarn for me all at once. But I just cast this on last night. One thing good about having surgery is you can get a lot of knitting done while you recover. So anyway, so I'm working on it. And I'm using some of my stitch markers from Pandia's Jewels. There's River Song. And there is 11. And there is the TARDIS. And when it's finished, you can see here I've put the first buttonhole in because it's worn this way. So it goes all the way around you and buttons from here over the shoulder, and then it has a nice little drape right here. So I'm really excited to be working on this, especially now that I modified it to be garter stitch because that makes it go so much faster. So if you want to know all the yarns, you can go to my project page. It's linked in the show notes, but I will just mention them as I add the new colors in. So, and then the last thing I'm working on is a pair of shorty socks. I'm using some leftovers. I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern and just modifying it by making it a rolled top. So I'm using US 1.5's 2.5mm needles, and the yarn, the brown is the Uncommon Thread Tough Sock in the Nutcracker colorway, and then the Stars and Stripes colorway is from Abby Grosso Self-Striping Sock. So instead of so I did it toe up with a contrasting toe and heel, and I just kept going in stockinette in the round, and then I just bound off using Ginny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, but just in knit. And then that way it rolls at the top. So the first sock is done. And the second sock, I am working on the heel. So these will probably be done today at some point. So, yeah. So I'm working on those. And then next on the needle sock-wise is going to be your birthday socks, which I'll show you the yarn for that in Yummies. That's everything I'm working on.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
5 of them. Told you this is what happens when you are recovering from surgery. You get all the knitting time. So first up, I finished my Ravelinix Archiform that I did not finish during the Ravelinix, but I made a darn good effort.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a pattern by my friend Kirsten Bettigan. I did it on US 11's 8mm yarn needles, and the yarn is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes bulky in the Wallaby, Wine, and Crush colorways. Dami took a couple of pictures just before we started recording. It has not been blocked yet. I'll talk about that in a minute. You can see in the front view picture, I used a shawl pin. I'll show it on the screen now. Here's the shawl pin. So it's 3 wooden rings that you combine together, and then here's the pin to go through it. To close the sweater, I can't decide if I want to do something like that or if I want to add some kind of button closure to it. My other thing is I really am not sure how I'm going to block it because it's a lot of yarn. It's heavy. I thought about possibly soaking it and then trying to put it in the washer just on the spin cycle to spin some of the water out and then laying it out to dry. If I had a clothesline, I would soak it and just hang it outside on a clothesline, but I don't have a clothesline. So does anybody have any thoughts on how I might effectively block this? Because it needs to be blocked just to kind of relax everything and let everything lay together prettily and everything. So, but I'm done with that and I'm very excited to wear it. Now you might remember a few weeks ago that I had that epic mess of a hat, which is actually over there, with the epically epic pom-pom on top of it. That was going to be my autumn and winter hat this year, but I just couldn't do it. So it's going to charity and there will be somebody who will love it. So this is my Curvity Take 2, which is also a pattern by my friend Kirsten Bettigan. I used US 4's 3.5 mil and US 6's 4 mil needles, and I used Rainbow Heirloom Sweater in the Fluffy Bunny colorway and Woolly Knit Lofty in the Raspberry colorway. And here is what happened. It has not been blocked either. We'll do that after we record. So you can see that it just fits together just a little bit better. I decided, since it wasn't very slouchy, to not do the biggest pom-pom of the makers I have, to use the step down, just because otherwise I'm afraid it's just going to pull on it. If it was knit as a slouchier hat, I probably would have used the bigger pom-pom because it wouldn't have been that big a deal. But there is my new hat. It needs to be blocked, but yeah. I loved the pattern. It was so much fun. So I highly recommend it. You should try it. And then the next thing I finished is this week's preemie hat, number 35. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. I did this on US 6's 4 mil needles, and I used Eden Cottage Yarns Langsdale Superwash Aran in the Algae colorway. That's for the ribbing and part of the pom-pom. And a blue, green, and brown unknown yarn. So there's another preemie hat. And then I decided to attempt color work again. So I made Christmas hats for our sweet little friends Izzy and Noah. And I used the Clayaquat Toque by Tin Can Knits pattern, which is a free pattern. I used US 4's 3.5 mil and US 6's 4 mil needles, and I used Blacker Yarns Tamar DK in the Red River colorway, Ginger's Hand Dyed Slender DK in the Liquid Sunshine colorway, and Lanatium Ex Machina in the Merino DK Twist in the Cherry Cabaret colorway. So these have not been blocked either. So this one's Noah's. He's got a lot of hair, y'all. A lot. So I ended up doing the adult small for him, even though he's 5. I'm pleased with this center section. So let me turn this inside out. I'm pretty pleased with the center section because I feel like my floats were okay. But the sections down here where it's just like, especially that middle row where it's, you know, one color, second color, third color, second color, I still feel like my floats, are too tight. And so I don't feel like it's, you know, if I try to stretch it, do you see how it like seems a little tight through that area right there? It'll fit him. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I need to still figure out how to handle floats like that. So there's Noah's, and Izzy's I did the child size. And I just reversed the contrasting colors on both hats just to give them a little bit of difference. Yeah, so they need to be blocked as well. But that gets those 2 Christmas gifts off my list, and I know they'll love them. So, and that's the 5 things I finished in the last week. So, all right, well, we have some fun stuff to talk about, so let's move on to Yummies. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. And if you could see my lap right now, Yummies. So first up, I had placed an order from Strawberry Fields Yarn to Lizzie. She is one of our vendors for the retreat for the Geeky Puff and Knitpalooza, and that came, I think it came the day I had surgery. Mm-hmm. So she sent this cute little card that says don't get wet under the umbrella. So what I had ordered was a strawberry kit, and I put, so this yarn is her Take a Hike sock weight 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and the colorway is Strawberry Fields again. So we've got the red, we have white with yellow, and we have the green. I'm so excited to knit this up. And it came with some fun goodies. It came with this adorable little strawberry stitch marker. It came with this so cute strawberry measuring tape. And it came with this really cute strawberry reusable shopping bag. How cute is that? I'll put it back together after a while. But Lizzie said in her note, when she was packing up my stuff, she said, I had dyed up this skein, and I thought, oh, Cece would love this, so I hope you don't mind me sending it. And I was like, of course, I don't mind at all. So this is the same base, the Take a Hike sock weight, and this is the Fairy Footsteps colorway. I love this up here with the little bits of blue and lavender in it. Isn't that lovely? And there's darker bits of pink right through here. So I'm very excited. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't have it with me, but she also sent me some mini skeins.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot.
In that colorway, this colorway, and some other colorways.
Yeah.
They're very nice.
So Strawberry Fields Yarns, she's on Etsy. There's a link to her shop in the show notes, and she will be at the Geeky Puff and Knitpalooza if you want to come shop. So thank you so much, Lizzie. I love these, and I cannot wait to knit these up. I'm thinking this might need to be a springtime knit because strawberries. But then again, I might just be like strawberries because it also could be kind of Christmassy with the red and green. So who knows? Who knows? And then I placed an order from Isla Is that how you say it? I can never remember because it's spelled Isla and it always confuses me, as well as Islay. That one confuses me as well.
Isla and Isla.
So Isla from Brit Yarn. And she always is so sweet when I order from her to send me a pink stitch marker. She always attaches a stitch marker to the parcel because she wraps it up all nice and everything. But she always sends me a pink one when I order. So I had a cocktail party arrive in the post box because I ordered 4 skeins of West Yorkshire spinners. West Yorkshire spinners. It just started raining.
No, it's a B.
Oh, I thought it was the rain hitting the window. Okay. West Yorkshire, it is raining though. West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply in their cocktail collection. So I ordered 4 of the colorways. And dadgummit, I'm not going to be able to remember which ones are which. Do you remember?
Passion Fruit Cooler.
And so this is for Dammy's birthday socks, so it will be going on the needles next.
Blue Lagoon.
This will be for the hubs at some point. And they're all self-striping.
Okay, I think that is Tequila Sunrise.
I think so. So that one will be for me.
And that one, I think, is Rum Paradise.
I think so, too. And that one will be for me as well. I love West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply. They have such great yarn. So, yeah. So those came in the post box. And then you had something arrive to you. Oh, which reminds me, we need to order you a new calculator.
Okay.
Sorry, that was just a side note. Hand delivered from friends who were in the States and brought it back so that shipping wouldn't be so much.
Yes, these are badges from Nerdy Monsters on Etsy. And they're Hamilton badges. Because why not? So that one says Aunt Peggy. That one is the Schuyler sisters. And this was in the Hamilton kit that you did.
Yes.
With Michelle of Very Colorful Yarnings.
Yes.
This is the Hamilton badge from one of my favorite etchings of the duel. It's so dramatic. It's ridiculous. I love it. And this one says Rise Up. Ta-da.
But it always makes me think there's another song that has Rise Up in it that is not the song from Hamilton. And so whenever you show me that this is Rise Up, I always think of the other song.
Okay.
So, yeah. So there's links in the show notes for Strawberry Fields Yarn, Brit Yarn, and Nerdy Monsters. So I think that is all the Yummies other than normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. So we're not going to play catch up, really. Well, you used stuff from the last 2 weeks, didn't you? So we've published the new September list. And it's preparing for autumn, because yay, autumn. And if you've never participated before, there is a detailed post on the geekygirlsknit.com website about it. So, yeah, we haven't done this segment properly in a couple weeks, and so like my brain is not remembering what we say. We're going to show them something. What are we going to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
So here come the photos. So those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You didn't say it.
Keep going.
You take a look at the prompts list. For example, today's prompt when we're recording this is 4. You interpret it however you would like. You take the photo based on the prompt. You post it on Instagram. Make sure you use the hashtag #GGKCraftyPad, and yours might get chosen to be featured in next week's episode and on all the social medias. All right. Well, we have a couple of events that we're going to be attending this autumn. So why don't you tell them about the first one?
We are going to be vending at Yarnporium in London on Saturday the 5th and Sunday the 6th of November with Sam of Knit Run Dig and Lola of Third Vault Yarns.
That's right. This is the premier event of this kind of event done by Yarn in the City. They have other things that they host, but this is the first time to do a full-on show. Last year for the Great London Yarn Crawl, they had a pop-up market, but this is a full-on show. And then we highly recommend that you do the Yarnporium, do some sightseeing in London, and then come to the Geeky Puff and Knit Palooza, which is a knitting retreat that you and I are co-hosting with our friend Sam of Knit Run Dig Project Bags. This year it's going to be in Farnham, UK, which is about 50 miles southwest of London, from Thursday the 10th of November to Sunday the 13th of November. Three things. One, we still have room. If you are interested in attending the full retreat, we'll give you the website in a minute because all of these things are going to be on the website. So there's still room. Second thing is the vendor market will be open to the public on the afternoon of Saturday the 12th of November for a £3 entry fee or a knit or crochet item to donate to charity. And third, the day this podcast is going live, Thursday the 1st of September at 1 p.m. British summertime, we are opening some extra class spots to the public. The classes are £40 a piece. There are 8 classes. Let's see if I can remember them all. Jolie is teaching Discovering Seamless Sweaters and Designer Boot Camp. That's Jolie of Jolie Creates. Louise Tilbrook of Louise Tilbrook Designs is teaching 2 at a time toe-up socks using magic loop and I'm wanting to call it like the teaching your knitting who's boss, but that's not the name we decided on.
Taking control of your knitting.
That's it. So that is that one. Rachel of Porpoise Fur is teaching a Spin Doctor class for spinning wheels, and she is teaching a swatching success class. And Tara of Tara Swiger is coming over from the U.S. to teach a map making class and a Get More Done in Your Business class. So the signups for that, for any of those classes, will also be on our website. So to get more information about any of that stuff, or to sign up for the retreat, or to sign up for a class, those signups will start at 1 p.m. on Thursday, the 1st of September. The website you need to go to is
geekypuffandknitpalooza.com.
That is right. So, yeah, we're excited. This is coming up faster than we can. I'm like, what? Tomorrow's September already? So, there's still lots of stuff to get done. So, we're working on that. So, I think that is everything for Yummies. So, let's move on to our next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we're reading and watching.
What are we reading, Dammy?
We finished reading Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, and now we're reading Mansfield Park. Today is the last day, and I know you're grateful for that, because you don't like it.
I finished it yesterday, actually, because I was just on a roll, and I was like, I'm just finishing it, because so I can be done with it. Because Mansfield Park has probably been my least favorite of all of them. So this is part of the Summer of Austen that you hosted, and that's been quite fun. We have some film adaptations we need to watch. So, yeah. Are you reading anything else?
Not right now.
Okay.
What are you reading?
I've got some stuff I've finished and some stuff I'm reading. So I'm currently still reading Coming Back to God When You Feel Empty, Whispers of Restoration from the Book of Ruth by Tanya Marlowe, and I'm enjoying that. I finished rereading The Gifts of Imperfection, Let Go of Who You Think You're Supposed to Be, and Embrace Who You Are by Brene Brown. I highly recommend that one. Yeah, it's a life changer for me. I'm currently reading a nonfiction book by probably my favorite nonfiction author, Shauna Nyquist. And it's her new book. It's called Present Over Perfect, Leaving Behind Frantic for a Simpler, more Soulful Way of Living. And it's a series of essays. And I'm about halfway through it, and it's just amazing. I love it, love it. I finished reading Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling. I enjoyed it. I won't spoil it for anyone because you haven't read it yet.
No.
But I enjoyed it. It didn't take very long to adjust to it being in a script format. Within the first couple of scenes, it was like, okay, this is fine. It was a little weird to start, but then it was fine. So I really enjoyed that. And then while I've been recovering, I've read the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. And this series is a series of 3 books that was actually given to me by a friend to read during recovery. And it's vampires, witches type books. But the first one is written in kind of a romantic, sci-fi type format. The second one, though, is written in a historical fiction format. And then the third one is written very much with, like, all the science. There's lots more science details and things like that. They were amazing, and I definitely need to reread them when I'm not on so much pain medication, because I know there's parts I missed. But they were very, very good. And Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick podcast is actually hosting a knit along inspired by the All Souls trilogy in October. I believe that's right. Yeah, I think it's October. So there is a little adult content in it, but not like Outlander. But just for that. And then I've started another series, but I haven't decided if I like it enough to talk about it yet. So, okay, let's talk about television, because we've watched a lot while I've been recovering.
We finished rewatching Star Trek Voyager.
All the tears.
Yes.
Like sobbing emotions. The last episode especially, where the older Janeway goes back in time, and Tom and B'Elanna's daughter, and Chakotay and Seven.
We don't know her name. Do we? Their daughter.
I thought that they... Hold on, IMDb to the rescue. What else happened that while we were watching... That last episode is really good. It's a 2-parter, but it's so good.
The Borg
Oh, yeah.
Queen.
And did you know that while I was reading trivia, because, hello?
That's one of her hobbies.
That is one of my hobbies. I discovered that Barclay was in more episodes of Voyager than he was of The Next Generation.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really intriguing. Endgame. Let's see here. Let's see all cast. Barclay, Crafty, Job. Yeah, Meryl.
Oh. Okay.
Meryl. Ensign Meryl Paris. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was very sad for it to be over, but it was so good. It was so good. And that ended our Star Trek rewatch of how many ever zillions of episodes there were. We didn't watch the original. We started with...
You don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just not my favorite. I mean, some of it seems really corny.
It's supposed to be. It's from the 60s.
I know.
The music.
Yeah. So we watched Enterprise and then TNG and then Deep Space Nine and Voyager. And we watched all the films. Yeah. Okay. So we have started watching a new show recommended to us by some friends. It's called Brain Dead. It's like a summer show. I think it's on ABC. So we're watching season 1. I think we've watched episode 3. And it's kind of a dark humor sci-fi about alien bugs that eat brains, parts of the people's brains, and it changes who they are. But sometimes it causes their heads to explode.
It has lots of Broadway people in it.
Yeah, so my favorite part right now is starting in episode 2. At the beginning, they do a recap, and it's done in song.
Sung by Aaron Tveit and his guitar.
It's fabulous. So fabulous. Tony Shalhoub from Monk is in it.
Aaron Tveit from Les Mis and Grease Live, and he's been in other things. I can't remember.
And what's her name from Smash is in it? Megan.
I want to say Hilty, but I don't think that's right. I think that's another person.
I thought it was with an F.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Beth Malone from Fun Home and Nikki M. James from Les Mis.
Yeah. So it's, yeah. Oh, and what's his name from Law and Order?
That guy! I don't remember.
I'm so bad with names. Anyway. So I think they're on episode around like 10 now. And we've watched the first 3. You just have to be careful and not be eating dinner when the heads are exploding. Yeah, so yeah. So that's something new that we're watching right now. We have started a Gilmore Girls rewatch because you know what? Gilmore Girls comes back in like 100 days. 100 days. 100 days.
I thought you said 100 days. I'm like,
No.
that's a lot of days.
I think it's actually 102 days, but right around 100 days. And so we're rewatching. We figured that if we watch a couple of episodes a day, minus the time that we're in and around London for Yarnporium and the retreat, that we will have it all watched before the new 4 90-minute episodes, A Year in the Life, come out on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And we are planning an epic Gilmore Girls thing with my bestie, and we're gonna have fabulous food, and we're gonna watch the episode. It's gonna be fabulous. If you look in the Gilmore Girls Knit Along chatter thread in the Knitting Broomstick group, because we're co-hosting that KAL with Jilly, yesterday I posted, so Kirk has narrated 7 60-ish seconds apiece recaps of the 7 seasons. And they're pretty good. So you should look up that too. All right, what else? I'm watching series 2 of Rosemary and Thyme and enjoying that. The Hubs and I are almost done rewatching season 3 of Numbers. I think we have like 3 or 4 episodes left. You want to talk about the next one?
We're watching season 2 of Dark Matter. Lots of stuff has happened. Will Wheaton was there.
I had forgotten he was previously in it, and I was like, did I know he was in this?
Yes.
And what's her name from Stargate Atlantis?
Tori Higgins. And
Yeah, she's been in several episodes. They had to break in to get the new no, they're not nanites.
Yes.
Is that what it's called? I was thinking that was Stargate. Anyway, to save 1, 2 to save 2. Yeah. And then the Hubs and I are watching season 7, the final season of Rizzoli and Isles. We watched an episode last night, and it was the penultimate. The series finale is next week.
Oh.
I hope that they do something special to remember. I can't think what his name is. Barry, the other police detective that was in the show earlier. So, yeah. So that's what we're watching. We watched a lot of Star Trek. and a lot of Gilmore Girls. We're already almost through season 1 of Gilmore Girls in just like a week. So, yeah.
Can I talk about musicals for just a second?
Sure.
Okay. So I went to see Les Mis live here, done by a youth theater thing.
Why didn't we put that in Yummies?
I don't know. Well, I went to see Les Mis live here with Katie, her friend. It was done by a youth theater here. It was really good.
I had a ticket to go, but I didn't. I was recovering from surgery, and so I didn't get to go. So Katie went in my place.
It was really good. I really love Les Mis.
It's a good musical. It really, really is.
And then I watched one half of the 25th anniversary live concert with Nick Jonas as Marius.
Because, you think this Broadway musical, you've got all these big name people and all these people doing...
We need someone for the kids to connect to.
And so you're like, yeah, let's just give Nick Jonas a role. And then she had told me this, and I was like, what? And then I was telling the hubs, and he was like, oh, well, they should have just put all the Joe Bros in it, and it would have been like a headliner, Les Mis with the Joe Bros. No. I had to cut the yarn. This is my Hello Sweetie Notions 10 from Pendy as Jules. I was cutting the yarn because I finished the heel, which means I probably will finish the sock today.
Then I have another musical. Wait, no. More about Les Mis. The Broadway revival, 2014 Broadway revival, it closes on Sunday.
Aww.
It's very sad.
It is sad.
No. And then I have another new musical that I really like. It closed just a few days ago. Closed last Sunday. Finding Neverland. It's really good. Okay. I'm trying to convince you to listen to it.
Well, yeah, we can. We just haven't had a chance to. What is the premise of it?
It's based on the movie that we tried to watch called Finding Neverland, but we found it really boring. But this is less boring.
Okay, that's a really great way to describe a musical for me to listen to.
Yes,
it's much less boring.
It's about J.M. Barrie.
Okay.
Who wrote Peter Pan.
Yeah.
And so, the original Broadway cast had Matthew Morrison from Glee as J.M. Barrie, and Kelsey Grammer as Captain Hook.
You didn't tell me that. You just told me he was in it. Oh my gosh.
Well, he's not only Captain Hook. He's theater manager and Captain Hook.
Okay. Wow. I love Kelsey Grammer. He's so fabulous. Yeah.
I have the Act 1 finale stuck in my head. Probably because I had it on repeat all this morning. It's really good.
And then you were listening to some other musical about eggs?
Yes, Something Rotten. It's still on Broadway, I think. Yeah.
It has what's his name from Hamilton in it?
Brian Darcy James, who was in The Public as King George III.
All right, do you have any other music?
It's eggs.
She just made me listen to a song called It's Eggs. So, all right. Do you have any other things we want to talk about in this segment before we dive into the zillions of KALs?
No, because we need to get done with the KALs.
All right, let's move on to the first KAL. And now it's time for our June, July, and August. Summertime and the living is easy.
KAL.
Yes. So we're not going to go through the details about this because by the time this episode goes live, the KAL is going to be over.
Yeah.
So we will award prizes next week, but right now all the prizes are on the screen, and we'd like to say a huge thank you to all of our prize donors. If you want to know about all the prizes in detail, go to
geekygirlsknit.com.
And they are all there with photos. So Dammy, we have like a lot of people to tell that finished projects. It wasn't just this week. It was because last week we didn't do it, and we didn't because we just did the short episode, and the week before we didn't record. So 3 weeks worth of FOs. So
why don't I just say the names of the people instead of how many projects they finished?
I think that's a good idea because it says on the screen how many projects they finished. So take a deep breath. Go.
Okay. Awan Dawan, Aid Bar, Ahola Knitting, Allison Roseboom, and Vita Sinha 1. Artist Maybe, Asteride, AZ Nitwit, Bindi J, Bolt Cupcakes, Bubby's Mom 77, Celeste, C Howard 06, Collie Inn Stitch Girl, Crafty PW, Crafty Textile Lady, Crouching Cheese, DG White, Dueling Needles, Eleanor Gamgee, Eileen D, Ellie 15, Use Your Yarn, Philippa MC, Frymeister, Fun Friend, Gothica 101, Gracieless, Hazy Summers, Hedgehog MJ, Inagarad Stoka, I Knit Socks 2, Jammin to Knit, Jelly K, Jessie's Girl 84, Knit 2 Pearl 2 Mama, Kana Soup, Karenina 4777, Karen Louise 59, Kathy San, Kex Grumelchin, Kersey S, Knit for Many, Knitosaurus, Knit Crazy Kate, Knit Princess 83, Knitting Otaku, Cosmic, KY Spinner, Little Angel SG2, El McCall, Lola Lee 1, Mantha Mac, Maria Wilhelmina, May G, Missy K Schmidt, Mookie Moo 1974, Muzzer Z, Mystery Sewer, Napier's Knits, Nataloo Kathloon, POKDEJ, Rainbow Ange, Ramona Firehorse, Rue CMC, Sarah Jane McKelvey, Saratoga Knitting, Saw Cat, Siberian Cat, S Keeling, Sloth 0514, Super CLR, Susie 2, Sylvia 1002, The Baby Lady 1990, BVFB, Tiandrina, Twiddling Sister, Twisting Pearls, Texas Woman 5031, Vegan Jilly, Ryder Darling, Yarn Seeker, Yarn Taxi Driver, and Yarn Enthusiast. And I bet you all just skipped over that. So, yeah.
We should have done like something in the middle of like the first person to contact us after hearing this win something. So great job, everybody. And we will award all of those prizes on next week's podcast.
Yay.
So we have another KAL to talk about.
And now it's time for our September, October, November Artistic Autumnal KAL.
Because I love the word autumnal. It's fabulous. Ooh. So this KAL is going to start, if you're watching this episode the day it goes live. Today. So it runs from the 1st of September through the 30th of November. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us relates to autumn. How might they do that?
You can do this by your project's color, autumn colors, colorway name, purpose, like keeping warm in the autumn, pattern name, design element, like leaves, or you made it in the autumn.
Yes.
Because your project cannot have been begun earlier than September 1st. So you have to start it September 1st or later and finish it no later than the 30th of November.
There is one exception to that.
Except
if you started my Where You Lead I Will Follow socks, the Gilmore Girls inspired one, if you've started those in August for the Gilmore Girls KAL, as long as you finish them by the end of September, you can enter them also into this autumnal KAL. That's the only exception. Okay? Okay. All right. Feel free to poly dip in other KALs. That's totally fine. Every project you finish and post in the FO thread counts as one entry into the giveaway. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. Post your finished project in the FO thread. No chatter in that thread, please. And tag your projects with the tag GGK Autumnal 16. We'll lock the thread the morning of the 1st of December and draw for prize winners after that. You'll have 30 days to claim your prize. There's a chatter thread that's already open. And we have 6 prizes so far. But if you would like to donate a prize, you can PM me on Ravelry, Java Pearl, or send us an email to
geekygirlsknit@gmail.com.
That's right. Okay, do you want to go back and forth on these prizes?
Sure.
Why don't you start while I get a drink of water?
Oh, you just want me to do this because you can't pronounce it. One skein of opal sweet and spicy in the Schwarzkümmel colorway from Jilly, who is Vegan Jilly.
Yes. And then the next prize is 3 skeins of Fiber Lady Macacot. It's 70% bamboo, 30% cotton in the relaxing colorway, also donated by Jilly, Vegan Jilly on Ravelry.
A Fia Hummingbird pretty cheap project bag from Julia, who is Nimrus.
Yes. 2 XO greeting cards with the XO pattern from Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and 2 Gilmore Girls postcards from the Gilmore Girls kits that I did.
3 EXO greeting cards and the EXO pattern from Edinburgh Yarn Festival.
They're really cute because they are color work charts, but they're greeting cards. But the pattern's also included in that. And then finally, a skein of Lang Yarns Jawal Magic in the epically named 84.0013 colorway. But we felt it was very...
It's certainly magic.
Yes. We felt it was autumnal. So those are the 6 prizes so far. But if you'd like to donate one, just contact us. And that will be getting started tomorrow or today. If you're watching this the day it goes live, it starts today. Thursday, the 1st of September. All right, we have another KAL to talk about.
Just one more.
Yes, because we won't talk about the other one until the second podcast of the month. So let's take a breath and we'll be right back.
Now it's time for our Gilmore Girls KAL.
That's right. So this started on the 1st of August and it runs through the 30th of September. It's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to Gilmore Girls. No whips are allowed August 1st through the 30th of September. You have to start and finish within that time period, but you can poly dip in other KALs. So we are doing this KAL in conjunction with Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick podcast. So the FO thread is in our group, so you can post your project there, and every post counts as 1 entry. You do get a bonus entry if you knit my Where You Lead I Will Follow sock pattern, and the information on how to post for that second entry is at the start of the thread. There's a special offer from Marjan of Lucia's Art, which is in the show notes. You have to be a member of both the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group and the Knitting Broomstick group to do this. And like I said, the FO thread is in our group and the chatter thread is in Jilly's group. The hashtag for this is hashtag Gilmore GGK TKB. So that's Gilmore Geeky Girls Knit, the Knitting Broomstick. We'll lock the thread the morning of the 1st of October, and the winners will be announced on the next Geeky Girls Knit podcast. And you'll have 30 days to claim your prize from the date that that's announced. We have talked in detail about all the prizes, except we had one new prize donated. It's a limited edition Coffee Gilmore Girls inspired drawstring project bag from George Ann of Stitching Plaza, which is on Etsy as the Stitching Plaza. So thank you to Georgianne for that. You can read about and see photos of all the other prizes in our show notes.
GeekyGirlsKnit.com.
That's right. So we have quite a few people who have finished stuff. So Dammy, why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Amber Crawley, Annette79, Army Wife 2102, Blue Eyed Crafty, Celeste, Crafty PW, Ine, Jammin' to Knit, Jessie's Girl 84, Kana Soup, Caramel, Kersey S, Knittin' Nana 68, Missy K. Schmidt, Mookie Moo 1974, Mystery Sewer, Nekis, Phoenix Fire, Quillpin, Rana Casement, Sarah Jane McKelvey, Sawcat, Shirley Murley, Theater Kind, The Baby Lady 1990, The VFB, Writer Darling, and Yarn Taxi Driver.
Great job. So keep working on those Gilmore Girls projects and get them posted, because you might be a winner. All right. We have more stuff to talk about. We told you to, like, you know, grab some extra knitting projects and some coffee, because we still got more to say. We'll be right back.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
That's right. What is this week's question?
This week's question comes from Val, who is Dragon Rose from Wisconsin. Hey, Java Pearl.
That's me.
In episode 194, was this when we were at the beach? Or the park? The park.
Park, I think.
It looks like you have a fear of dogs. Is this right?
Yes.
But not all dogs are mean.
I know.
Lots of them just want to give you kisses. And that's it.
I know. It's from a childhood experience, and it has just remained. So, yes, I am. I try not to be, but I am. So if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
And we'll do our best to answer it. All right, we have a review of a very special book, so let's move on.
Now it's time for a review
So I heard about this book.
on the Knit Girls.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it was on the Knit Girls. It's this sweet little book called Charlie Needs a Cloak by Tommy DePaolo.
Tommy DePaula.
Okay. I need to edit it in the show notes because it left off his first name and it separated the last name. It
is from 1973, so this book is 43 years old.
It is adorable, and I'm going to read it to you right quick because it's not very long. Charlie was a shepherd. He had a cozy house, a big hat, a crook, and a flock of fat sheep. But everyone said, Charlie needs a cloak. Poor Charlie. That sheep is trying to kiss him.
Mm-hmm.
He really needed a new cloak.
Because the sheep is eating it.
That's right. So in the spring, Charlie sheared his sheep. They look so happy to be sheared.
Well, yeah, because it's getting warm and they don't want to be super warm. Why is that sheep in the bush?
I don't know, but we forgot. Was the mouse?
I don't think the mouse was in it before. I think it just was on that page.
Oh, no, here it is right here.
Oh.
So there's this little mouse, and he steals things. So he's stealing part of the cloak on that page. On this page, he's stealing shearing scissors. He washed the wool. I love that the bubbles are pink. What is the sheep stealing?
Sheep.
I mean, the mouse.
Soap.
Okay. And carded the wool to straighten it out.
Looks like an apple, maybe? An apple?
No.
I don't know, your thumb's on it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, an apple or an orange, some piece of fruit. Then Charlie spun the wool into yarn.
A spool. The mouse is stealing a spool.
Of yarn, yeah. I love that that sheep right there is balancing the spools on his back. Charlie wanted a red cloak, so he picked some pokeweed berries during the late summer and boiled them over the fire. Then Charlie dyed the yarn red in the berry juice.
The mouse is stealing the berries.
After the yarn was dry, Charlie put the strands on the loom.
The mouse is stealing a candle.
And every fall evening, he wove the yarn into cloth.
The mouse is stealing a teacup. This mouse likes to hoard.
Charlie put the cloth on the table and cut it into pieces.
The mouse is stealing a jack-o'-lantern.
He pinned the pieces together.
The mouse is stealing a ruler. What is this mouse making?
Something epic. And sewed them.
The mouse is stealing a boot.
And then when winter came,
A mitten.
but do you see where he's taking all this stuff? There's all the stuff the mouse stole. And I love that the sheep is like getting his attention through the window. Oops, sorry, the pages stuck together. Charlie had a beautiful new red cloak.
The mouse is not stealing anything else, I don't think. No, it's just right there.
Oh yeah, by the sheep. And then on the last page, it gives you definitions of what each of the things are. How cute is this book? So I picked up a copy on Amazon for very cheap, and I'm actually going to give it to some sweet little friends for Christmas. But I thought this was adorable, and I don't know how I had never heard of it before, because like you said, it came out in
73.
In 73, so... but it's such fun because the boys that I'm giving the book to, their mom is Crafty and knits and such. And so I thought it would be a good fun
It
book for
might
them.
actually be Tommy DePaula because it said it said text copyright Thomas DePaula.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
probably
still
Tommy
DePaula, not
DePaula.
Paolo.
Remind me to fix it in the show notes. So if you are looking for a fun little book for your little ones to teach them a little bit about sheep and
shearing.
Yes. And
wool things.
Yeah. It doesn't have knitting, but it has weaving in it. This
Which
book
is close.
Yeah, this book is adorable. It's got really cute sheep, and you should totally pick it up. Charlie needs a cloak. All right, on to the next segment.
Happy 4th Podiversary to us. Happy 4th Podiversary to us. Happy 4th Podiversary. Happy 4th Podiversary. Happy 4th Podiversary to us.
Yay.
Yay, Geeky Girls Knit.
Yay.
Now it's time for cake.
So yes, it's our 4th Podiversary. Actually, that was yesterday. Tuesday the 30th was 4 years ago on Tuesday the 30th. Geeky Girls Knit podcast was born. You are only 12.
Yeah.
And here we are at episode 207.
Yes.
So first, we want to say thank you so much for being on this journey with us. Because if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't do this. So thank you for participating in our KALs. Thank you for chatting in our threads on Ravelry. Thanks for sending us messages. Thanks for sending us lovely gifts. Some of y'all have sent us such sweet things. Thank you for donating prizes. Thank you for participating in GG Crafty Pad. Thanks for just being amazing. Because it's kind of hard to imagine life without the podcast now. Because it's become such routine. I mean, to the point that, like, for example, next week I have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday. And unfortunately, this is a special clinic where they are only open on Wednesday afternoons. So we're going to have to, like, record around my appointment. But I said to Dammy, I was like, do people not know that Wednesdays are for Geeky Girls Knit podcast recording? Why are they, like, interfering with my plans? Because that's just what Wednesdays are for now. So, anyway. We wanted to do a special giveaway for y'all. So, I have to show you my bag that all the prizes were in. This isn't one of my Anna Green Gables bags. I never do the same wrong thing twice. I love Anna Green Gables. So, we are going to have 3 prize winners. What we need you to do to enter the giveaway is go to the thread in our Ravelry group and tell us your favorite moment from our past 4 years or your favorite episode. And if you can't think of episodes on our website, there is a list of all the episodes. And we're going to keep the giveaway open for 2 weeks. So until we record episode 209, you must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit Ravelry group to participate. 1 entry per person, and you'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you're a winner. So the first prize is going to be some of the yarn that is left over from my Archiform.
A lot of yarn.
5 skeins.
You can make like a little baby blanket with that.
You might be able to. So this is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Bulky. There's 3 skeins of the Crush colorway. These are 100 grams of bulky weight, 137 yards each. And then you get 1 of the Wine colorway and 1 of the Wallaby. I was thinking you could do like a really cool hat and gloves set, or you could do like a cowl or a scarf.
Baby blanket.
I don't know if this would be enough for a baby blanket.
It's 537 yarns and more or less 500 yards. And so...
Well, actually more like 600.
Yeah, so around 600 yards, and because it's so thick, it would make it big.
Yeah, maybe.
It would be a cute
So,
baby blanket.
anyway, this is one of the prizes.
This is another prize, a drawstring fish project rag from Julia's Numbers.
It's cute.
We love fish.
Fish are cute. It's purple.
And this is a skein of Natalie Fergie yarn. I don't think it's bulky. I would say it's like a DK.
Probably worsted.
Worsted.
Let's see, how much yardage does it have? 330 meters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's not a bulky. It's probably worsted or DK.
And I think it's the Hug colorway. I think Hug is the colorway, not the base. So it's pink.
So it's 100 grams, 330
30.
meters of Natalie Fergie yarn.
It's sweet.
It is squishy. So that's the 3rd prize.
Ta-da.
So go to our Ravelry group, tell us your favorite moment from the podcast, and you might be a prize winner of some yummy yarn or a project bag. I'm trying to put everything back in here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Tell them thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Dammy is obsessed with Broadway musicals right now.
They're great.
She's been singing songs about eggs in between every segment.
I see the scrambled nature of my soul. I'm cracking up as I begin to see the pieces of myself in this omelet. Is that how it goes?
I have no idea. So we should be back on our normal recording schedule now. Thanks for bearing with us while I was in hospital and during all the complications. And again, thank you for being so amazing and for your support. Trying to think if we have any special announcements. I don't think so. I think we've told y'all a lot of stuff today. So a reminder that the 52 weeks of Charity KAL is ongoing. All the details for that are in the Ravelry group, and we talk about it on the second podcast of the month. It's in the show notes too, I think. Yeah, probably. If you would like to support the podcast, there are 3 main ways you can do that. One is by being a Patreon supporter, where you pledge a certain amount a month and you get rewards based on your pledge. If you want to do that, you go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsnet.
And then the other 2 things, the first one,
There is a PayPal button in our sidebar on geekygirlsnet.com.
if you'd like to make a one-time donation, or if you are shopping on amazon.com or .co.uk, if you go through our website first, we get a little money back from Amazon based on what you buy. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and we use that primarily to do the shipping of prizes. So, but thank you for all of your support. And if you're not able to help financially, that's totally fine. We totally understand that as well. But thank you so much to those of you who are doing that. All right, Dammy, I think that's everything. So why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Etc.
Sure.
And with that, we're going to tell y'all goodbye. We hope that you have a lovely rest of your week. Thanks for bearing with us through this. I don't know how long this episode is because we'll have to do it in processing, but I feel like it's an epically long one. So, we hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Happy knitting, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I think you enter this.
Oh, well, you like Gilmore Girls.
You do too.
But you really like Gilmore Girls.
I know. I really wish Christopher would go away because
This isn't gonna be our Gilmore Girls thing. You're gonna put this at the end.
possibly. I just want Christopher to go away because Luke and Lorelai belong together. They do.
But if he went away, then he wouldn't be being a good father to Rory.
But okay, but he can be a good father to Rory, but he needs to leave Lorelai alone. I'm serious.